And this one is one by Ember. You guys know who Ember is. Ember is a wonderful creator. He creates stuff for Elden Ring. I've been getting a lot back. Getting more back into Elden Ring content again. I haven't been watching Elden Ring content for a bit because I've been, just doing other stuff, and it's been a little bit since the game released. But the game is game of the year, and I am really happy about that. And I just want to get back into the game and have some fun. Did our first playthrough with a weird poise build we made. I'm looking forward to going through this profit build. I'm actually really having fun with magic, so I'm looking forward to getting that today. But Elden Ring Changed Me Forever by Ember. I feel like we're gonna have an emotional video today.
Dark Souls and Elden Ring improved my life in ways that I didn't even think were possible. I talked about how the Souls games saved my life, and a lot of people resonated with my story and said it had inspired them to make changes in their life as well. So I wanted to make a bit of a part 2 to that story that's a little more in depth of how my mindset shifted as a result of playing Dark Souls. Last time I talked about how
I think job evolves with technology. Did you remember how many people lose their jobs as cleaners and the veterinarians? When the horses are not allowed to anymore on the streets, they just created new jobs. No, and I think that's completely correct. I think that's completely correct. New jobs will be created. I think, though, the thing that we have to think about is that while new jobs will be created, people's love and passions will be destroyed, right? So you're completely correct. Like whenever horses were like not a big deal, new jobs are created. People who loved dealing with horses on a regular basis or like doing their job on a regular basis, that job was gone. People who love creating games, whenever they get replaced by AI, all of a sudden, their love is gone. Especially if the AI get good enough, then all of a sudden you don't need game creators. Then it'll only be indie developers making their own games by themselves. Which, I mean, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we need more indie developers. Maybe we need to pull away from big CEO AAA companies. That might be a good thing. But overall, it's a scary concept to think that your livelihood and the thing that you love the most can be replaced by an AI. It is. Although I do believe, yeah, you totally should look at it in a positive way and say, yes, you should use this technology to help yourself do your job easier.
End of the series and how it made me realize persistence and failure are necessary for success, but I didn't talk much about what happened after. Let's talk about Elden Ring. In the months leading up to the game, I had finished school and moved out of my hometown. I had been doing tons of side projects on my own that I started losing passion for despite their success, so I was having a really hard time starting over and picking up something new. I tried tons of things, but nothing really stuck. And I think a lot of this has to do with informed pessimism. When you start something new, you have what's called uninformed optimism, which is where it seems super easy on paper, but once you start, you realize it's much more work than you were expecting. So you develop what's called informed pessimism because you tried it and realized what actually goes into it. I had this happen with tons of things, and even
that is 100% when I first started making really YouTube videos that I thought were good. YouTube videos that I put in hours and hours of work into. YouTube videos that took more dedication in a month than it would take most people doing most things. Once I started making really good YouTube videos and I realized that a video of me reacting to someone else got 4 to 5 times more views than a video that I put in 60 plus hours into, I felt demoralized. Demoralized and pessimistic to the utmost degree. But then later on, which is the current arc that I'm in now as an anime character. It's a joke, I'm joking. The current arc that I'm in, I realize now that it's fine. I just have to work hard and just keep working at it. And it's not a big deal, and I'll do whatever I can to make what I want to make, and if it does good, it does good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. And I always have this content to come back to, this reaction stuff, just in case, it's whatever.
Even realizing I probably just needed to push through and keep going, I knew something about these projects was off. The passion just wasn't fully there. Everything else I've done in my life started for fun or out of curiosity, but it's hard to force that when you're looking for it. But I think I knew the real answer all along. I had been obsessively playing Sekiro since it had finally clicked for me, and Elden Ring was genuinely the most I had looked forward to anything in my life since I was a kid. Now that I say that out loud, it actually sounds kind of sad, but it really wasn't. We all know the impact
Is it not maxed out? It should be. I can do this.
These games have on us. And none
How's
of my
that?
roommates played any of these games, but they were excited just watching me update the countdown every day. They were the ones who kept telling me to stream or do YouTube, but surprisingly, I had a valid excuse for why I didn't want to do that. First of all, I play on console, so recording gameplay is a bit of a pain because I have to set it up every time. And normally this wouldn't be a good excuse, but the real, more important reason is that I didn't want to ruin the magical experience the Souls games gave me by turning it into a job. And that's the unfortunate truth about these kinds of jobs. Yes, it's awesome to be able to talk about the Souls games for a living, but it does make the experience a bit less.
That's actually too real. For people who don't know, who don't create things or don't have an idea of what they want to stream and stuff in their brain, there is a unbelievably large list of games like Persona 5 that are sitting on my sitting on my computer right now that I want to play. I desperately want to play. But I know it's a bad idea, like playing them without streaming them or playing them without recording them. It is a bad idea to do that. I know it's a bad idea. There are games on my list that I know that I have saved for like years and years in advance that I know that if I play them right now, it's a waste of content.
Enjoyable. I felt like I would always feel guilty when playing for fun instead of recording gameplay, or even start hating the games after talking about them so much. The guilt thing turned out to be true, but luckily I still love these games as much as ever. And deep down, I knew my friends were right. I knew the passion I was looking for was staring me right in the face. I just didn't know how to do it without ruining the experience for myself. But then I remembered Ishin's quote, "Hesitation is defeat." So no, I'm just kidding. That would have been awesome though. I only remember that quote when I debate running across the street without looking both ways. Anyway, after a while of searching for my next project and not being able to find a job, I decided to entertain the idea of maybe doing YouTube. I'd shied away from doing YouTube for a long time because I knew it took forever to grow a channel and even longer to start seeing any income from it. And I still had no job, so starting something that wouldn't pay out for years was not the most appealing thing in the world, I'm not gonna lie. But this is where these games saved me again. I realized that nothing sustainable.
The best way to start YouTube, for people who don't know, is to do it for fun. Just do it for fun. And try to be consistent with it. Make it a routine. Make it something that, like, you know how like some people wake up in the morning, they go out and exercise? Yeah, fuck that. Don't progress your life. Just start making YouTube videos for fun, like in the morning when you're having, you're just not having a good day. Just go make a video. Like, just do that consistently as like a routine thing, and eventually it's like secondhand nature.
Comes quickly. If I couldn't get good and conquer Dark Souls in a day, why would I expect something in real life to be any different? But I thought about it and realized it was 2021. It was too late to start a YouTube channel. I could not have been more wrong. In the meantime, I was sending out as many job applications as I could so I could at least pay my rent. I got discouraged after a while, but I remembered my experience with Dark Souls. It only takes one time. That next application could be the job I get. That next try on the Nameless King could be the time I beat him. So I kept going until I finally got an awful job that I was way too grateful to get after suffering through college. Like, seriously, I thought college was supposed to make getting a job easier. Anyway, I start my job and continue my Elden Ring countdown, and my passion for side projects faded away for a bit. And that's not something that's ever happened to me, but I let life run its course, trusting that the right move would present itself to me eventually. What a stupid mindset to have. That's a child's mindset.
I kind of agree and kind of don't agree. I do believe luck plays a part in your life. It's not that massive though. Like you do get lucky, and like sometimes things just seem to fall into your lap whenever you're in a bad spot. Which is just, that's how a lot of people go through life. But you do just need to work hard at it. Like you do, like you just like, especially in YouTube, and I'm just speaking from personal, you just need to fucking make shit. It doesn't matter what you make. You need to make 300 videos before you make one good one. Like it's just the truth. And that's with everything in life. That's everything in life. You need to do it like 400, 300 times before you're going to get a good one. And if you stop at 30, that 31st one might be the best. And it might be your thing. If you stop now, you're fucked. And all that work you put in behind, it's done.
As an adult, you have to make everything happen for yourself. If you're sitting around waiting for something to change, that's basically the definition of insanity. And after a few months at this job, I realized I needed to get out. Just looking forward to Elden Ring wasn't enough to make me feel happy about my life. And I realized a big part of why I've been able to go through periods of my life where I wasn't happy with where I was at was because I had side projects. I'm not saying, oh, everyone has to have a side hustle, but if I'm
Just do it.
working a job I hate, the only thing that'll get me through the day-to-day is knowing I have something brewing on the side that'll eventually allow me to escape. It's not hard to go to work every day to your crappy job when you know every night you're busting your ass getting one step closer to reaching your goals. It's easy to have your boss yell at you when you know one day you'll be your own boss. It just makes life bearable. Maybe I'm just #built different, but I really do think this is a cheat code. So fast forward.
No, I agree. If you're working for someone and they're an absolute douchebag, and you know that you're gonna be working for yourself, and they're still gonna be in that fucking shit job, like 10 years. I know it sounds spiteful as fuck, but there is some level of satisfaction of knowing that every day you're working towards a goal, whatever your motivation has to be. If it means that you're gonna do better than that other guy, that's still motivation, man. That's still valid. You should still use whatever you can to motivate yourself to push forward. And in doing better than someone else pushes a lot of people forward. It's tough with side projects, though. You can't beat yourself up if you don't do it every day. Yeah, I mean, of course, I think it's impossible. I think doing it consistently doesn't mean doing it every day. It means don't go a month without doing it. Don't go several weeks without doing it. Just make sure it's constantly on your mind and you're constantly trying to do it whenever you have the time and your availability. I mean, even if that means doing it once a week, that's still doing it consistently, right? There are people, though, that, like, after, like, getting discouraged or getting frustrated, they will let it go for months at a time and then pick it back up again. And that is just the wrong mindset to go about things.
Forward to February.
I'm totally not self-inserting at all.
Elden Ring comes and I play the shit out of it. Like, seriously, like, get up at 3 a.m. with your friends, switch your Xbox to New Zealand time, and call in sick 5 days in a row type playing. And after a week of the game's release, I decided I had to make videos on it. I'm still kind of glad I waited a week before making a channel around it, because I think I would have been way too stressed getting content for it to focus on the experience. But I did have the fear that I missed the wave or that everyone had already covered everything, but I didn't care. I needed to spread the message of how great these games are and how much of a positive
100%
impact they can
Crimson.
have on your life. So after a while of plotting, I noticed YouTube introduced a new feature that was becoming more prevalent: shorts. So I tested it out by posting some skits of myself, and they did really well, like way better than a normal YouTube video would have ever done. So I decided to make a new channel and post some Elden Ring clips I had saved in my library. Needless to say, they did very well. One of my first ever videos has like 900,000 views now, and it was from my first day ever of playing Elden Ring. Everyone
I remember that I made a few videos that took me many hours, and well, I made the bad idea of not being constant. I think that that's a lot of people's first introduction to making stuff on YouTube. I know that like there's some like Panda in the channel who's in this like chat with us makes fantastic YouTube videos. There are 2 YouTube videos on his channel that are a cut above the rest, and I love them. I cherish them, and I look to them and I think of myself, I want to do that, but I want to do it better. Like, I want to like, you are the model of creation that I strive to be. He did a really good job on those videos, and those 2 videos stand out on his channel because of that. And I feel like people like him and people like me, when we make really good content, right, and it doesn't get views, you get discouraged. It is off. I have a 1 hour long video on my channel of me voice acting for a while, and it took me so long. It was a solo project. It took me so long. It's got like 200 views, and then me reacting to a cutscene, a trailer, a reaction video that took me like 10 minutes to do, has 5,000 views. There's a reaction video on my channel that has 50,000 views right now. Okay.
hated it because the title was like, this weapon is broken, but bro, it was like a week after the game came out. None of us knew anything. But obviously for the first few weeks, that video got maybe 2,000 views total, but I was still mind blown that it was possible to start a YouTube channel in 2022. Elden Ring truly gave me that fire that made me realize what I had to do, and I couldn't get enough. I was getting home from work and immediately hopping on and getting clips for shorts until I had to go to bed. I would edit and post all these videos.
Who do you need to sub to on YouTube? Learn your game. I think it's one word. Learn your game. Sub to learn your game. Give him likes because the videos on his thing are great. Honestly, his videos are great. Even if he doesn't make video, I don't know if he'll ever make videos again. But Panda did an excellent job on there's 2 videos on that channel that really stand out to me. And you'll know them pretty fast. I forget the name of them. Panda, if you remember the name of the videos that you did, but they were excellent.
The next day at work on all my breaks and lunches. If I was able to sneak a headphone in during work, I was listening to videos on how to grow a YouTube channel or Elden Ring hidden secrets, and suddenly work became easy. I started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. This could be my way out. In the meantime, I was still struggling to find my identity with long form videos. I tried a bunch of different things in the beginning. Most of them you can go back and watch, but I still felt a bit stuck.
Probably.
Naturally, I was consuming a ton of Elden Ring content as well, but I realized no one was making interesting listicle content about the Souls games. And that's where my series of the best and worst in every Souls game was born. It was crazy to me how many people still told me, oh, make sure you don't get too excited, or like...
Yeah, it's Earthbound worth thinking about, and then the Final Fantasy one. Yeah, the Final Fantasy one and the Earthbound one were fucking great. I love those videos.
Like, oh, don't quit your day job just yet. Even now, people try to convince me that I should play it safe and keep a job. So, being the person I am, I quit, and it's been working out pretty well so far. Also, I'm just kind of petty. Back when I was applying for jobs, I started by applying to my dream jobs, then after...
So, this is a problem that if I could go back in time, I would change about myself, is that I grew up in a generation that is you graduate from high school and you immediately work and you provide for your family and you do the reasonable things before you do your dream job. And your dream job is something you're never going to get. You're never going to really get your dream job. That's the place that I was brought up in my life. My family told me I would never amount to anything, and I would not be able to be the thing that I wanted to be. And that does put a mental block on you to the point where you're like, okay, well then the right thing for me to do is to not do what I love and instead go towards something I hate. So my first 4 years of college were me trying to get a degree, and as a math teacher, totally didn't want to be a teacher.
After weeks went by, I lowered my standards a bit, rinse and repeat. It's like when you're hungry and you open the fridge and then you walk around for a little bit and then you come back to the fridge expecting something better. You didn't actually expect anything better, you just lowered your standards. That's how I ended up with this terrible minimum wage job. After months of searching, I had to settle for that out of pure desperation. But here's the craziest part. Maybe 2 weeks after quitting my job, I got offered my dream job from an application I had sent in over a year prior, which I took, and I still work there today. So when I say I quit my job, I mean I quit the job I hated. And I will say it's much more pleasant working at a job when you know you have the ability to quit whenever you want. Even with my old job, nothing felt too serious after I started making enough to live from YouTube. But it goes much further than this. While I played Elden Ring, I brought along the core lessons I had learned from the Soulsborne series, but it taught me new things I didn't even know I needed. Most notably, the importance of patience, which if you couldn't tell is a pretty big theme of this entire story overall. A lot of people mistake patience for sitting around doing nothing. Like I said before, this is not patience, this is laziness. Patience to me is doing everything you can to put yourself in a position to succeed continuously while trusting that it will pay off eventually. Elden Ring was the same way. It was tempting for me to bash my head against the wall fighting a boss I was super underleveled for over and over, but I knew that wasn't the way I should be playing, unless I'm just doing it for fun or to challenge myself. I knew I had to be patient and work on conquering the area around it slowly before rushing straight to the boss. I could fight the boss over and over again and quit when I lose out of frustration, but would I really be making much progress?
See, this was my initial problem. Yeah, exactly. Fucking Panda's calling me out right now. This is my initial problem. This is my hubris in gaming, is that if I can't beat it now, If I get hit by an ability, I'm just bad. And I kept beating myself because honestly, I grew up playing World of Warcraft, and World of Warcraft, it was like if you get hit by the ability, you're just bad. And so I took that into every game that I played. And when I played this game, the game that he's playing right now, what is this called? I forgot. Sekiro. When I played this game in Sekiro, I did the exact same thing. I went straight for the boss. I didn't grind anything. I didn't kill side things. I went straight for the boss. Got hit once, died, and said, well, I'm just bad. And then I kept trying a few times, of course. But eventually I was like, well, I'm just fucking terrible. And I beat myself up to the point to where I didn't want to play the game. And that's just wrong. Like, what he's saying is completely right in the video. Especially at your level in WoW, you did top tier WoW. Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing that. I mean, I had fun, and also it was a pain in the ass. People who never played like World of Warcraft at like a high level, it's like a frat house. Everyone in that area is all thinking the same thing, and they're all judging each other all the time. Everyone is at such a high stress level that whenever you finish a raid night, everyone kind of just hangs out and shit talks to people that aren't around. So like you shit talk to people who just aren't doing a good job that night. Every night. Everyone does that. Everybody does that. It's not just some people do that. That's like a standard thing for Mythic Raiders. And it's like that environment is toxic as fuck.
If my goal is to fight and win against the boss, wouldn't the best option be to prepare as best as I can until it's actually time to fight them? It's important to have patience and not rush yourself through just because you want something fast. I want that promotion fast. I want to find love fast. I want to beat the game fast.
Also, that's not even in Mythic WoW, by the way. That's just World of Warcraft now, by the way. That's just like a standard thing in Classic and the easiest content in the world. You didn't kill the boss 10 seconds faster? I'm going to shit talk everything about you. And they do that every fucking day, every night. Even the nicest people. I considered my Classic guild, the one that I still talk to. I still go on their Discord and talk to them. I consider my Classic guild the nicest people. They still shit talk people. They still do it. Like, it's like ingrained in the society of that game. You just can't get away from it. And if you hang around that group too long, you will start doing the same thing. And you will see it if you like start feeling yourself talking shit about people. Because it's like the thing. Like you just do it. It makes you feel better whenever the night went bad. That's just how people are.
If you rush through everything in life, you miss out on the experience and the journey, which we all know is really the best part anyway. I don't know about you, but the second I beat Dark Souls for the first time, the first thing I thought of was, damn, I wish I could play that again for the first time. And that's why I try to take my time with this channel. I know I could shove a bunch of sales pitches down your throat and make a quick buck, but I'd rather build this up in a way that feels right to me. I could do sponsors that I would personally use myself, or I could promote random crypto stuff and make 10 times the money. And that's an easy choice for me. Doing the right thing always comes back to reward you. If you're playing Elden Ring and you glitch your way past the Draconic Tree Sentinel because you couldn't beat him, sure, you got into the Royal Capital, but now you're gonna get your ass stomped by everything else that's there. That's why I try to give as much free value as I can, because I know it'll benefit everyone, including myself, more in the long run. I could easily charge for the PDF on growing your YouTube channel, but I don't. I could make a huge course and sell it for $1,000, but I'd rather be able to help you all in the ways that I wish someone had helped me. The only thing I sell on YouTube is my shirts that I hand make, but I'm pretty sure those are sold out right now anyway, and I do phone calls if someone wants personalized advice for their YouTube channel. And I would love to
Bro, this man does phone calls? What the fuck?
Money and someone's got to pay the bills. This game shocked me and taught me new lessons just when I thought they had showed me everything they could possibly teach me. In my last video, I saw a few comments saying I should thank myself for starting these good habits after playing these games, and I agree. I do give myself credit, but I think it's fair to also give credit to what inspired those thoughts and taught me how to execute them without me even knowing.
Absolutely.
I've been doing as much right as I can, and I can now confidently say I'm in the happiest state I've ever been in my life. Sure, there are problems. YouTube is a huge grind and super stressful. My job can also get annoying and prevent me from spending all my time making videos, but overall, I wake up every day pretty happy to be alive. And I don't think it would have happened without me playing these games, or at least not this early.
I can honestly say that human resource management and like being a good like public relations worker is 100% like dealing with people and leading groups is 100% because I was a World of Warcraft raid leader and a guild leader. And I had to manage so many people and so many problems all the time. So many people's BS. Like having to deal with 20 plus people and their personal problems all the time makes you a good leader. And because of World of Warcraft, I became a good leader. That's just the truth.
So thank you to Dark Souls, thank you to Elden Ring, thank you to FromSoft for creating them, and Nate for introducing me, and most of all, thank all of you. Because you watching this right now have given my life meaning and allowed me to be happy every single day. And the best I can do in return is share my life experiences and hope to inspire someone to realize that they can do whatever they set out to achieve. It's not too late to start, it's not too saturated, it's not too hard to learn, it's not a waste of time. Fail, then fail again. Because if there's anything these games taught us, it's that dying doesn't mean it's over. But not literally, like if you die in real life, it's kind of over. But if you thought that was my outro, you'd be...
He always cuts it off at the end, dude. Why? Why do you always cut it off at the end? All right. That was Elden Ring Change Me Forever by Ember, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes and we'll start playing some Elden Ring. Be right back.